Standard Speaker sports editor Dave Seaman and I are here to tackle the biggest sports topic of the week. So Dave, let's start. Does Prince Harry look like Carson Wentz? What has been your opinion on the...
I think he looks like Matt McGloin.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it on air, Dave.
Come on. I think that's where he looks like, Matt McGloin there. Maybe it's the red hair, I don't know. But, good luck to the royal couple. That's what's talked about it. I think we should just devote the whole show to that.
Absolutely, dude. That's so funny. I thought the same thing. He said he's more Matt McGloin than Carson Wentz. Well, we'll get to Carson Wentz and the Eagles. I want to start with the Steelers because we've talked a lot about the Eagles. But out west in Pittsburgh, Steelers only 2 losses. Sunday night, tough game against the Packers, but they pull it out. Some questions about Ben Roethlisberger in the beginning of the season. Dave, does he have, I don't want to say one more, but does he have another run left in him? Maybe one more run left in him.
I don't know if it's just Ben Roethlisberger, but when you have receivers like Antonio Brown and you have a running back Le'Veon Bell, I mean, they're 2 great weapons to have around you, and then you surround them with rookie Juju Schuster-Smith from USC. He's stepped in. The Penn State tight end Jesse James has contributed. Other receivers, Ben has a lot of weapons around him too, and Ben's been there before. I know. I remember using a headline one time, "Been there, done that," because he definitely has. And one of these years they have to beat the Patriots. They've struggled. It's going to be a battle to see who gets the home field. I believe they play in a few weeks, and that game more or less will determine who has the home field. The Patriots have won in Pittsburgh before in the playoffs, but the Steelers have never won in New England when it comes crunch time. And the way the season's going right now, it's going to come down to those teams again. And I really do think the Steelers have run in them this year too. And then, not that I'm a fan of either team, but if you're a Pennsylvania sports fan, how would you love to see an Eagles-Steelers Super Bowl? I mean, that would be great. A little ahead of ourselves right now, but the way both teams are looking, it might be a possibility.
Well, Dave, the Eagles have to go out west, and they'll play 2 games out there. LA Rams coming up, and before that, they'll play Seattle this weekend. Not make or break; they're really ahead in the standings. But playoffs coming up, so maybe a nice test against teams with winning records.
I think you want to establish yourselves too. I mean, they're the name team right now. Everybody's talking about them. To go out west to a team like Seattle, who's been in the Super Bowl in recent years, and obviously Pete Carroll has established a power out there, and the Seahawks will be fighting for their division title too. A great quarterback in Russell Wilson, and the Eagles really have had it pretty easy over the last couple of weeks, based on how well they have played too. They've prepared well, they've been coached well, and they performed well on the field. And the test, I guess, is to see if they have some adversity. They had some early in the season. The Chargers, if I remember correctly, that was a close game, and then they went to Carolina and won at Carolina too. So those kind of games help when you get to on the West Coast in November when it matters. And Eagles have a lot to play for. I mean, they want to be home for the playoffs too, and they've been dynamite at home, and to go out to Seattle, pick up a win there, and if you're a fan, you want to win both games. But if you could split against the Seahawks and the Rams and kind of divide those games up, I think you're looking pretty good for the future.
So, Dave, it was Thanksgiving Eve, a holiday known for football, and we're all sitting around, me and my friends, and every TV, I think, in the house where I was at, my buddy's house, was on the 76ers, Philadelphia 76ers. Lots of interest in the basketball team, Dave. I'm not a huge NBA guy, but I've heard about trust the process, being bad for so long and then getting these draft picks, trying to get these stars. But there's a lot of excitement in Philadelphia right now.
Yeah, it's about time. When you say, the Sixers really haven't been competitive since the early 2000s when Allen Iverson and Larry Brown were still there. Allen Iverson was a perennial, MVP candidate. They got to the finals against the Lakers, I believe it's 2001. So the Sixers fans really haven't had much to cheer about since that time. But now it looks like they, obviously assembled some of the pieces there. And Joel Embiid, too. I mean, when you look at Joel Embiid, too, one of the best centers in the league, if they let him play every day, too, you could see how dominant he can be. Ben Simmons obviously going to be a superstar, too. And Markelle Fultz really hasn't played that much either, too. He was their top draft pick this year. They made some great pickups along the way as well. J.J. Redick is an outstanding shooting guard, too, a veteran presence. He can light it up, too. So they've definitely made some great moves. Are they in a position this year to contend for a championship? Probably not. But to break 500 and get to the playoffs this year would be a huge step forward.
I guess I need to start paying attention to the NBA. Dave, finally, college football playoff, things are a mess right now. You have the top 2 teams go down over the weekend. A lot of interesting scenarios could play out. Championship weekend this weekend, as we have Georgia playing Auburn, Miami playing Clemson, Ohio State and Wisconsin, TCU and Oklahoma. I have Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin in. When the dust settles, who do you think will get in?
I believe Clemson's going to beat Miami, so I think that's one of the teams too. Oklahoma should be favored against TCU. It's hard to beat a team twice, though. I mean, Clemson obviously didn't play Miami this year, but I think the last time they met, Clemson beat Miami 56-0, so I'm sure the Hurricanes remember something about that. TCU only recently lost to Oklahoma. TCU is a very good team, too, so Oklahoma shouldn't sleep there, but I would think the Sooners get by there. That's two teams. Winner of the Georgia-Auburn game, too. Last time Auburn got Georgia, it was a home game for Auburn. Auburn's beaten Georgia and Alabama both at home. Now they go to Atlanta, which, I mean, I'm sure the crowd will be 50-50 split, but it's still closer to Georgia, and you get to start 0-0. So that 41-14 or whatever the score was the first time they played doesn't matter now. And then you talk about the fourth team getting in. I just think it's Wisconsin's year.
So from royal engagements to the college football playoff, we've covered it all today. Dave, we always appreciate your time.